Hazard identification and mitigation are critical components of workplace safety, aimed at preventing accidents and injuries in general industry settings. OSHA provides a framework and regulations to guide employers and employees in recognizing potential hazards and implementing strategies to minimize or eliminate risks. Here's a summary based on OSHA regulations applicable to general industry. Routine inspections. Employers are required to conduct regular and thorough inspections of all workplaces for potential safety and health hazards. This includes assessing equipment, environmental conditions, and work practices for risks that could harm workers. Employee training and participation. Training employees to recognize hazards and encouraging them to report unsafe conditions or practices are vital steps in identifying risks. OSHA mandates that workers be informed about the hazards they may encounter on the job and trained on how to protect themselves. Hazard communication. Under OSHA's Hazard Communication Standard, 29 CFR 1910. 1200, employers must inform employees about hazardous chemicals in the workplace through labels, safety data sheets, SDSs, and training. This helps in identifying chemical hazards and implementing proper handling and storage practices. Record keeping and reporting. OSHA requires employers to keep records of work-related injuries and illnesses, 29 CFR 1904, and report certain incidents, such as fatalities or severe injuries, within specified timeframes. Analyzing these records can help identify patterns and areas where hazard mitigation is necessary. Engineering controls. These involve making changes to the work environment or work processes to reduce exposure to hazards. Examples include installing ventilation systems to remove airborne contaminants or using machine guards to protect against moving parts. Administrative controls. Implementing work practice changes to reduce the duration, frequency, and severity of exposure to hazards. This might include rotating job assignments to limit exposure to hazardous conditions or establishing safety procedures and policies. Personal protective equipment, PPE, when hazards cannot be eliminated or sufficiently controlled by engineering or administrative means, employers must provide appropriate PPE to employees at no cost. This includes equipment like gloves, goggles, helmets, and respiratory protection, which must be selected based on the specific hazard and fit the employee properly. Emergency preparedness and response. OSHA standards require employers to develop and implement emergency action plans, 29 CFR 1910. 38. To address unforeseen incidents, including fires, chemical releases, and natural disasters. These plans should outline evacuation procedures, emergency reporting protocols, and employee roles during an emergency. Training and education. Continuous education and training on hazard recognition, use of protective equipment, emergency procedures, and specific job hazards are essential for mitigating risks. OSHA specifies training requirements for various standards, ensuring that employees have the knowledge and skills to protect themselves and their co-workers. In summary, hazard identification and mitigation in general industry involve a comprehensive approach that includes regular inspections, employee involvement, communication about hazards, implementation of control measures, emergency preparedness, and ongoing training. Employers are responsible for ensuring that these practices are integrated into their workplace safety programs to create a safe and healthful work environment.